Wait, did I tell you about the stairs? If you feel a deep nagging pain in your lower glute whenever you go the stairs, you might be dealing with hamstring tendinopathy. This often happens in high-speed running. Right at the moment your foot hits the ground and pushes off, the hamstring tendon absorbs the huge amount of force. When that load becomes excessive, the tendon strains, and because the tendon attaches to your sit bone, it doesn't feel like a hamstring problem. It feels like a hip pain. But runners aren't the only ones. I see this in Pilates and yoga, cyclists and spinning. Even people who just sit a lot and then suddenly do exercise, they get this. Hamstring injuries account for about 10% of all sports-related injuries. And here's the real issue. We use these muscles every single day, so if you don't treat it early, it easily becomes chronic. It's crucial to treat this early, so let's talk about treatment options. Most clinics begin with physical therapy, and that's appropriate. You strengthen the muscle, you gradually load the tendon, you rebuild the capacity, but tendons heal slowly. They have very poor blood supply. Muscles are red because they are full of blood. Tendons are white, mostly dense collagen fibers. That limited circulation means nutrients come in slowly, metabolic waste leaves slowly. Healing takes time, and sometimes patients feel stuck. That's when we start thinking, how do we stimulate better healing? Steroids? Unless it's a severe inflammatory case, steroid injections are generally discouraged for tendinopathy because the steroids can reduce collagen production and weaken tendon structure over time. The goal is not to reduce pain, the goal is to help the tendon repair itself. That's why regenerative approaches like shockwave therapy and prolotherapy are sometimes used. They work by creating controlled inflammation that signals the tendon to restart the healing process. But here's something many people don't realize. Acupuncture can play a similar role. When a needle mechanically stimulates tissue, it increases local blood flow. More oxygen, more nutrients, better metabolic exchange. But that's not all. Acupuncture also reduces pain by directly signaling the brain to release endorphins, serotonin, and dopamine, all naturally. And locally, it helps release trigger point and muscle tension in the hamstrings and surrounding muscles that can further restore the muscle's proper function. Plus, the beauty of acupuncture is that it can always be an add-on. It doesn't have to replace physical therapy or conventional treatment, although it can be used on its own like it's always been for thousands of years. More and more integrative pain centers are incorporating acupuncture because clinicians recognize that acupuncture has been well studied for its effect on inflammation, pain, tissue repair, and muscle functions. So, you don't have to feel stuck in your recovery.